My name is Rebecca Parker, and I'm a recent graduate of the University of Pittsburgh at Greensburg. I got into DH through a professor of mine, Dr. Elisa Bashir Bandar. She asked me to come on as her research assistant on the Digital Mitford project, which is an international project looking at the works of Mary Russell Mitford. And once I dipped my toes in the DH sand, I knew it was for me. And from there, I took her fall 2014 DH course, where we learned a lot of the XML-based languages that I know today. Unfortunately, I was in a pretty bad car accident that year, and the only class I could keep up with was this digital class. So I was just immersed while I was in the hospital recovering in DH, and it was the thing that kept my mind busy and really grew passion inside of me for DH. I had started the Restoration of Nell Nelson project as a part of that initial 2014 course. I had another student working on it with me, but like I said, since I was incapacitated, I had him working all over GitHub and other digital interfaces on the project. So I really got that sense of a project management from afar feeling, while also still remaining on the Digital Mitford project. So as like as an editor as well as like a project manager, I had these like two ideas of DH that I had had experience with. From there, in the 2015, I did an independent study working with Dr. Bashir Bandar on my project as well as the Mitford project. And then in the fall of 2015, I was her teaching assistant in that DH course that I had taken in 2014, and did the same thing in the spring of 2016, being a teaching assistant with her on those courses.
Can you tell me a little bit more about the projects that you've worked on?
Sure. So
if you have an area of specialty in the projects.
Sure. Yeah, so the Digital Mitford project, my role there is I'm transcribing and encoding using TI XML, her journal. So I have a lot of work left to do, but that's basically what I do with that project. I also help support the Digital Mitford Coding School, which we hold at our campus every year, usually right after the semester ends, the spring semester. We invite students and professors to our campus, and we teach them all XML-based languages that we learn in the classroom, and kind of give them an introduction to the Mitford project. So I help run that, and I'm transcribing and encoding the journal. As for the Restoration of Nell Nelson project, that project's entirely my own, so I'm the project manager of that. But I also still transcribe and I encode, and I work alongside my team members, just building the entire archive, which is a task. But I would say I specialize in GitHub project management when it comes to that project, because I have students that need to learn what GitHub is and Git and how to use that software properly, and that's a big part of our data preservation for the Nelson project. So I specialize in teaching students that for when it coming into my project. And I've done some other digital projects. I've created my own personal page so that all of my CV and my DH stuff is available in one spot. And I've done some incorporating some of my DH tools into other classes. I wrote a capstone paper for my English Lit that I'm turning into a DH project, and like a history of an English language course. I made digital tables for that class, so I just incorporate DH into as many things as I can. Yeah.
Awesome. What's DH like at your institution? Is it incorporated into the curriculum? Are there places you think it could improve, or what do you kind of hope it could be at your college?
Okay. So I feel really fortunate coming from Pitt Greensburg because of Dr. Bashir Bandar and her extensive work on building such rigorous but beneficial courses. So the 2 encoding courses I think are fantastic, and that's not just because I've helped write some of the exercises and tutorials, but more of just the intensive process of learning that takes place in that course. And then the outcome being such tangible projects that here I am at ILiADS 16 with a project that I built out of that course, and people are coming to me and asking me questions on how I built it, because it's that commendable what we learned there. We are building the Center for the Digital Text at Pitt Greensburg. It's coming into its first year. Hoping that my position there, I'm getting hired on in the fall to work there as an assistant to the Center of the Digital Text. I hope that my role there will kind of advocate community outreach into the DH community, so we can share some of the stuff that we know and also get back some of the stuff that other people know in the DH community. So I'm excited about that aspect of our DH presence growing. I think that Pitt Greensburg could probably have a center would be nice, like a literal physical space, but that's not to say that that will never happen. I'm sure that eventually something like that could happen, but at this current time there's not a physical space. We meet wherever the people are, wherever Dr. Bashir Bandar is, or wherever I am, or wherever our students are that are doing DH, that's where we end up meeting. So computer labs or classrooms or her office. But I wish there was a physical space, and hopefully we'll get there one day. And we do have other professors in the writing program, as well as the history program and the foreign language program, that are coming in and trying to incorporate DH into their classes. And they're doing it, and it's impressive that they're so willing to work together and learn new things. We have a professor coming in to take the course in the fall, so that will be fantastic to see, and she's a foreign language professor, so it's going to be fantastic to see how she incorporates our tools into her classroom. And I think there's always room for improvement. There's always room for more faculty to get involved, more administration to get involved, although we have been extremely supported by our administration when it comes to student funding to conferences, as much as they can anyway, because funding is funding. And I feel extremely grateful to be from Pitt Greensburg, but we learn a little differently than other institutions. I mean, we don't use a lot of software that is like kind of a plug and chug method. We do a lot of like hand coding and a lot of text-based coding. So XML, TEI XML, XPath, XSLT, SVG, these are all languages that we become fluent in. So, yeah.
I'll give you the chance if you want, if you have any closing remarks or things that you've learned at the conference that you really want to talk about, importance of DH,
Okay.
anything that you would like to close with.
I guess just a couple more things I'd like to say is that I absolutely love the interdisciplinary aspect of DH. I'm an interdisciplinary girl. I have a double major in English literature and social sciences, and my social science degree is based off of history, psychology, and sociology, so I am interdisciplinary as it comes. I like that our digital studies certificate at Pitt Greensburg incorporates the creative writing program, because I never thought to go that angle in my English career, and I learned a whole new set of skills of creative writing just by it being incorporated into the digital studies certificate. So I think that, again, happy to be where I am, or where I came from, but I love the interdisciplinary part of DH, how it brings people together. And I think ILiADS is a great representation of that. And I think that ILiADS works hard to make sure that the undergraduate's perspective is a part of the experience, as well as the faculty members. It's a whole project team effort, and ILiADS really represents that well, because that's a very important part on most projects faculty run. They have these student working bees that need the attention, and ILiADS makes sure the students get that, especially with their support with the UNRH. And I look forward to hopefully being involved with that even more than I've already have been. So, go DH. I love it.